Hi guys. Well, I guess I'm gonna start this resurrection of this project. Guess the best way is to do a little story time. So 2019, I finally was working again after the motorcycle wreck, had a real job, real money. Wanted to do a little project. The wife always talked about a bug. I had one when I was a kid. And found this over in Illinois for, I think I paid $500. It was a guy cleaning up the farm after his dad passed away. It was his dad's car. Apparently some gal bought it brand new, and then his dad built a deck for her, and this was his payment. Anyways, apparently he didn't know exactly what went wrong with it. He said his dad said it was something that goes wrong with Volkswagens. And so it was parked next to a building on the farm. And sat there for 30 some years. So I still don't know exactly what went wrong with the car. Blah, 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 blah. Anyways, I'm working at a forklift company. They had a welding truck with a winch and a forklift trailer. And if anybody knows what a forklift trailer is, the bed goes flat down to the ground, so it was super easy. Went over there and drug it on the trailer, backed the trailer right in here, and scooted it off. And it started tearing it apart. I pulled all the glass out of it. And the fenders, the hood, trunk lid. I got the bolts out of all the pans. And I got the body up in the air. Pulled the engine. I tried to take the engine apart. It was all locked up. I busted the jugs off it, thinking, well, I'm putting new jugs and pistons on it anyways. And the oil pump housing was just too corroded. And the oil filter, or the oil cooler, one of the passages for the oil cooler, it's just about corroded shut, and where the O-ring sits in there is just gone. So it's like, well, that's not worth it. But I did not find a drop valve in it, so it wasn't because the engine dropped the valve. So I'm not sure exactly why it died, but it is a 1975 Super Beetle Legrand 4-speed manual. The wife wanted a stick. It's supposed to be that metallic green with silver rims. And green is the wife's favorite color. So she was happy. She's been repainted. And she was only on the road for about 10 years. Tearing it apart. I found that the trunk lid was when they repainted the car, they put a used trunk lid on. It was either orange or red underneath the paint. And there was some damage right through here that they never fixed. So she got hit in the back. And I also found Bondo in this quarter. The rest of the car looked like it was pretty straight. A lot of this damage from the rust, since it wasn't on the road that long, a lot of this damage is because the seals for all the windows were all cracked up. So every time it rained, well, you can see how bad they were. Every time it rained, it poured water inside the car. So the floor pans rotted out, heater tunnels rotted out, and of course the depth foam got her. So anyways, the wife had a yard sale that fall. Asked if I was going to work on the bug that winter, and I'm like, I didn't have a heater. This place wasn't insulated. It's like, no. So she said she was going to have another yard sale in the spring. So she packed everything in here for a spring yard sale. And that was the fall of 2019. Well, her spring yard sale just happened last month. I couldn't even see this thing. I haven't been in my freaking shed for ever. My lumber tipped over because it's really, really windy, and that's the downfall of having a tent instead of a garage. It knocks everything over. I gotta get some more lighting in here. Finish insulating it. I do have a heater now, which seems to work really nice. So get some more lighting in here, and I'm gonna get this body off the chassis. When I took it apart, the pans are junk, but the tunnel was in perfect shape. So was the cross members that you need. So it's a matter of getting the body off and putting new floor pans in and figuring out if that transaxle is any good. And of course now going through all the brakes, going through all the suspension. But now I have to take a step back, get this thing off, go back through, re-inspect all the critical parts. But just a glancing over it, it doesn't look like anything's, other than the dogs had a big old hole underneath this thing dug, because they would sit underneath this thing in the summer. But it, other than gravel being on there, it doesn't look too bad yet. So this is the beginning of restarting Project Super Beetle. But yeah, it's gonna need struts. It's gonna need everything gone through. Brakes, all new brake lines. This is not go. I'm gonna make a disclosure at the beginning of this build. I am an auto mechanic. I can fix just about anything. As far as a body man, I can pretend to fix just about anything good enough to look good. I am not going to be doing a show car, but I have been watching a lot of videos and practicing, and I've learned a lot over the years, so I should be able to do some decent body work. And the body is pretty straight, other than that quarter over there. I have a feeling got hit, and I can see wrinkles. So it almost looks like there's quite a bit of mud in there. And then straightening out that back panel. So, and of course, like Buster's Garage says, one patch at a time. So, we'll see. This is the beginning of the Super Beetle. I gotta figure out a body dolly and get this thing off the chassis so I can get that chassis in the air and start working on it. So that's what I'm going to do first. I am going to redo the chassis. Once that chassis is done, I mean, anything can go on it, but this is what I want to go on it. So, anyways, that's the story of the 75 Beetle that I know of. Talk to you guys later.